blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have...
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. I want to welcome you to a special episode of Secular Activism Unfiltered because we are working with Black non-believers to make sure that this important message and guest gets out to enough people. I want to first bring on my special partner in crime for the day. Hey, it is so great to be working with you for this special episode.
Hello, Kelly, and hello, everyone that is tuned in. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. It was nice and relaxing.
Good,
No bothers at
same.
all.
Same
No bothers at
here.
all.
Yes, of course, we're always activist minded and being mindful of the fact that Thanksgiving, is very dubious for everyone, but it's always good food, good times, and so that's what we love to celebrate. So absolutely. I'm glad to be here on this sunny Saturday down here. I'm not
Yes,
sure how it is in Detroit.
it's supposed to have a nice storm, 47
Ah,
degrees.
oh gosh, geez, that's just
Yeah,
awful. But
yes. So, Black non-believers, we're gonna plug stuff about the organization in the stream, all the events that we have going on. Make sure that's done so we can keep us up and up. Uh, Everybody knows who you are, so it's no introduction. Um, we are gonna now bring our wonderful guest on. He is Kato Mukasa, tongue tied. Sorry, who is a Ugandan who is now living in the UK, and I'm gonna bring him on now.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm so happy. I'm so excited. So grateful to be joining you today, ladies. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me. My name is Kato Mukasa.
Kato Mukasa, okay. And there's a few questions that I like to ask my guest. I uh, basically, like I said in our message, that I like this to be a laid back interview. It's I want to feel like two friends are just having a conversation.
Mhm.
Uh, so the first question I like to ask my guest is your religious background, if you had any.
Thank you so much, Ko. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you so much for having me. Uh, it's a very, very important question to me. Yes. I grew up from Uganda. I'm a Ugandan, currently in the UK, based here in Glasgow. And I'll give you a brief about my story. One of the books I've given you has this story. I'm going to make it very, very, very brief. Now, I was born in a family of 8. My mother was lucky in that way, 4 boys, 4 girls. And my mother and father came from a strictly Catholic family background. So I grew up in a Catholic setting and in an area that was generally a Catholic. And I went to Catholic schools. My mother was deeply religious. Up to now, my mother just made 80 years 3 weeks ago, but she's still very, very Catholic. My mother, when I was born, decided to give me a name for the Pope of the time, the Pope of the day. Basically, my Christian name was John Paul at baptism, because at the time I was born, the Pope that I had got to the throne of the papacy was John Paul. Now, I come from that background that is deeply, deeply, deeply religious. I should say that for people born in Africa and raised in Africa are highly, notoriously religious. So I was born in an environment that was very religious. Happily, fortunately, my father was not deeply religious. My father was secular, but not a kind of person that will say I'm a humanist or atheist, but he was secular in his outlook of things, the way he did his own things. He was not as religious as my mother. My mother was religious. My mother would take us to church, make us say prayers. And in fact, by the time I was about 10, 11 years, my mother had wanted me to become a priest by joining a priesthood. In Uganda, we have special schools where you go. They are called seminaries, where you go and study the main stuff, the main subjects, but also study religion that is going to lead you towards priesthood. So my mother wanted me to be a priest, but in 91, I disappointed her and I told her, no, I'm going to be joining priesthood because basically I don't want to be a man wearing dresses, wearing long dresses, gowns, And 2, I'm told fathers don't have women, they don't marry. So, and for me, I wanted to have a woman. I wanted to get married. So I decided my mother told her, no, I won't be joining the priesthood. And gradually, at that time, I began losing faith. I began questioning lots of stuff about religion at that time, 91, 92. I remember my father introducing me to critical thinking by getting me books of Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. I read those books when I was a teenager, because my father worked in the government national library and was an ardent reader. So he would bring books at home. We had a library at home, and then I would read. So one of the books that woke me up so much was the works of there's a Frenchman, the man behind the French Revolution. That man behind the French Revolution wrote a book that was questioning religion and the papacy in the time of the French Revolution. Now, when I joined those dots, reading other books by Russians, especially people like Karl Marx and others, they somehow changed my psyche. They were seeing things, they were criticizing things. Then I read other writers like Arthur Koestler, and of course I was reading African writers like Chinua Achebe, Wallace Soyinka, Alecha Amadi. Now the African writers, one of the things that struck me so much was their ability to relegate Christian names. They were having purely African names. So as a teenager, I was wondering, me, I'm called Paul, but Achebe doesn't have a Christian name. Why? Why that Soyinka doesn't have a Christian name? So I think it's normal not to have a Christian name. That was the basis of questioning. Why is that these best writers we have in Africa are discarding their Christian names and are simply using their African names only? So I was wondering why. And as I read their books, remember my father was a man who read so many books, was working in the National Library, brought books at home, read all these books with us. So as I was reading Achebe, Sunia, Soyinka, Alecha Madi, and others, Maya Angelou, and others, I was always wondering the views we are bringing about religion, about inequality, about slavery. So all these things, the way I read them and then made the sum total, it was like slavery was being supported by Christianity. Poverty, torture, women beating, women suffering, inequality. There was a way that people I was reading at that time was justifying subordination of women. There's a way the Bible was reading was justifying slavery. There's a way the Bible was reading was justifying poverty and relegating other people as low class and then elevating others as the children of God. I began wondering, I began asking questions. What I did was, when I went to high school, I did literature as a subject. We used to call it English literature as a subject. Then I began now reading about English novels, the Shakespeare's, Thomas Hardy, and others, then joining them with my African writers I was already reading, then the poets from the US and the others, my critical thinking, my mind was shifting rapidly from not only questioning why I should be having a Christian name, why I should be going to church, but now I had begun doubting if there was even a God. So now my journey, my transformation moved from not only questioning the name I had been given without my consent to if really everything we are talking about was true. If there was heaven and where it was, if there was hell and where it was, if I could die and then be burnt alive or dead. I mean, I was always wondering as a child, as a teenager, is it possible? So when I was adding the philosophy, for me it was the philosophers I read, and then the novelists, and then the poets, and then the African writers that I were discarding Christianity, the Ngugi wa Thiongos of Kenya, the guys in West Africa, Okot Biteko of Uganda. Now, when I was reading all these, Timothy Wangusas and others, my brain was jammed. I began gradually moving from not only questioning the names, but stopping going to church. And by 1996, I had stopped going to church. I had stopped going to church. I was now joining high school, and I was openly telling people, I don't believe in this stuff called God. I don't believe in a Sunday, because now history has taught me it is a Sunday. It's a God's son is the one owning this kind of name of this day. So I went basically to even study the names, the history of the days, the calendar system, and how these days could come: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I was wondering, why are people going to church on Saturday, others are going to church on Sunday, others are going to the mosque on a Friday. So the sum total of all those questioning made me revolt, first within me, and then outside, telling my mother, look, I want to become a priest, but also stopping to accept whatever my chaplain was telling me at the school, that in 1996, I was expelled from my school, where I was the head prefect, by the way. The school is called Blessed Sacrament, Kimanya, one of the most Catholic schools in central Uganda. Big school, very powerful school. I was there. I'd been elected head boy in 95. I began questioning. I began asking why every time we were being told to go to mass in the morning and we are candidates. I began making a revolt, and I was the head prefect. So, 96, I was expelled from school, only allowed to come back to sit exams, basically because I was doing so well in class. I was their best student, their best candidate in class. So they thought expelling me indefinitely would cost the school. So they expelled me, told me, don't come back to classes, go back home, but come and do your final exams. So that's how revolting had taken me, questioning things and disagreeing with systems. And this is how we are today. The rest is history. I'll add on from there.
Forgot I muted myself. I just listen to people's stories, how they realized religion was BS years ago. Like it's about 10 years ago. So I was 40 when I finally realized that it was crap. And here you are, teenager, realizing it. And surrounding, and even though I'm in America, my whole family, it was for religion, very strict. So to actually have you thinking, because I'm thinking, well, but you did have your father who kind of helped you with that thought process because
Yeah.
he was secular in a sense, but I didn't have anybody secular. Everybody else was very religious around me. So I'm thinking that they knew everything. And so my question is, I had thoughts when I was a child, but I'm like, no, since my mom says it's real, it has to be real because she knows everything. And you realize that that's not true. Now, another question I like to ask is, once people leave religion, many of them just want to be an atheist, non-believer, skeptic, or whatever you call it. But what sparked or motivated you to start being an activist?
Good question. Thank you. Yeah. Basically, to me, it was beyond saying I don't believe in God, or there is no heaven, there's no hell, or religions are bad. I always found religion one of the main reasons why Africa has the problems we have today. And I'll repeat it. Whereas we can have so many theories, so many arguments why Africa is poor, why Africa is at war, why Africa has many people willing to go to war and fight for ideology they don't understand. The background to all these things, religion has a factor. Now, when I was growing up, I grew up in an area where we had many Catholics, many Christians, but also we had Muslims. I should tell you, in my society then, I would see girls of 13 years getting forced into marriages because they come from Muslim backgrounds. I was seeing situations where traditionally some families would marry girls before they reach even 18. Because once a girl starts menstruating, they think this person has grown up. I was in a society where I saw this on first hand. I mean, with first experience. I was in society where priests, Catholic priests, some of them were having girlfriends, women friends, and children. Yet the public couldn't know that Father XYZ has a child or has an affair. But somehow, going to Catholic schools, somehow being near to the Catholic Church, there are things I got to know, and I was so surprised. How could a priest who vowed not to have a woman get a child, sleep with a woman? You know, so it was the double standards of these people that forced me to think that we must do something, etc. Because religion, for example, in Uganda, in 1997, 98, 99, up to 2000, we had a rebel group that was inspired by religion. We had the Lord Resistance Army, which terrorized Uganda for almost 20 years. Look at the name, Lord Resistance Army. Lord. For almost 20 years, it cut off the entire northern Uganda. They are fighting to bring their Lord to lead us. Then we had another group later on in early 2000s, a group that was called Allied Democratic Front. It was backed by Islamic principles. That is Uganda. Then we began having bombs. They would go and detonate themselves in public, killing people. Because for them, they are waging a war, they call it jihad. And that is Islam. Then there is northern Nigeria. Nigeria for decades is at war. There is a divide between north and south. Why? The region. The south is Christian. The north is Muslim. There's a Sharia in the north. So when you look at all these combinations, all these factors, I thought, look, I won't simply say I'm an atheist. I'm a humanist. I must practically go on the ground and join an organization, but also form one to become an activist, to talk about these things, but also give people support. Now, for example, in Uganda, I began an NGO called HEU, the Humanist Association for Leadership, Equity and Accountability. HEU was begun in 2007, basically to do the following things. I mean, one, support young mothers. We are having a challenge in Uganda at the time. Girls, 10 years, 11 years, yes, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, getting pregnant. I had a case of an 11-year-old girl I was taking care of for over 8 years. But this girl became a mother at 11, and by the time I got her to support her, she had 2 babies at 14. Now, we thought that there's no way we can simply say religion is bad, these bad cultures are taking us backward without doing something. And I thought that early marriages, forced marriages can be tackled if, as humans, as atheists, do something on the ground. So I began an organization with colleagues. We began supporting young mothers to go back to school. I started a college called Pearl Vocational Training College. In my area, it has been helping hundreds of young mothers, teenagers, 17, 16, 15, with babies. If you go to our website, you're going to be actually seeing these babies and their mothers. So we went practical to support something that can change lives, to go from talking to action, so that we can make a difference in life, but also change the faculties, the thinking that, look, religion, bad cultures are causing this. But the solution is not to blame. The solution is to stop this practice, is to tell people that this is hurting, is not to punish a victim twice or even more than twice. Because if a girl is pregnant and then you chase her from school, because in Uganda, they chase you from school the moment you conceive. Now, if a girl is pregnant at 14, the family is chasing her, the school is chasing her, who is taking care of this girl? So we stood up and said, a pregnant girl also has the right to go back to school. That's why we began our vocational training college, and my NGO was supporting these girls. Then we looked at other issues. For example, the LGBTI has been one of my core area of focus as an organization, but also as an individual. The gay people in Uganda, as you are aware, Uganda is one of those most homophobic, and I put it in quotes, most homophobic countries in the world, because as I speak, we have the Kill the Gay bill. I mean, the law. We have a law that actually promotes, right? Separates gay people from normal life, pronounces sharp, dangerous criminal offenses against people that are gay. So we began this NGO to champion the rights of gay people. And we were training them for many, many years, but also defending them in courts of law, but also going to court to challenge the anti-gay law. And on 2 occasions, we successfully challenged the law. So basically, said activism is important. It is beyond simply saying, I'm an atheist. So what? I'm a humanist. So what? We are saying do something practically.
Man, that is so inspiring. I know couple weeks ago, maybe a month, we do an annual cruise, and we had Leo Igwe come in, and he
Yeah.
described some of the stuff that he was doing, and about how many of the women were considered witches,
Yeah.
and he's dealing with that. And that's a whole nother subject, but it's scary to me because this is some of the thought processes of some of the people here that are trying to take us back.
Yeah.
And it's funny is that most of these areas, America included, was colonized by these Christian organizations, Catholics mostly.
Mm.
They called it crusades.
Yeah.
So they tried to take over, and it's crazy. But I'm just hearing that the Ghanaian president is trying to make it against the law, and it's also a lot of several countries who's also part of the LGBTQ, but he's trying to persecute both allies and those that are part of the LGBTQIA community. That's crazy. I don't know what is wrong with the world where they think that it's okay to persecute somebody with how they live. It's not bothering anybody. They're not causing any harm.
Yeah.
And this is why when I talked to Dean, I felt very impelled and I quickly wanted you on because I also have been talking with Dennis and I wanted him to be a guest because
Mm.
he actually explains his story about what happens with him and he explained how you've helped him
Yeah.
and how supportive you've been to him. But his internet and stuff is so bad, so that's either here nor there. We'll figure out how to get him on one day because I do
Yeah.
want to listen to his story as well.
Mm.
But you're explaining you have a family and you're still doing this and all these things like that. Now, subscribe to me because it's a lot of things that you're doing, and we're gonna post links and everything. We've been doing it in the chat so far of the organization that you're leading now, and how can somebody help, even if can somebody help even being an American citizen.
Yeah. Mm. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes. we are doing quite a lot with my team, quite a big team. As I told you, we have a school vacation that is helping pregnant girls go back to school, have skills because we give them skills to survive. Hairdressing, tailoring, bakery, events management and decorations, you know, best farming practices, give them practical skills because society is rejecting them because they are pregnant, because they have babies. You know, gay people, we do help them, give them trainings, defend them in court, and they have problems. But also, when they go for asylum, look for leave the country, we still help them. I should tell you that at the moment we are supporting gay people, Ugandan gay people in exile in Zambia, in Kenya, in Sudan, and in Rwanda. These are guys we are supporting. And if you want to interview some of them are very bold, they are willing to always go online. I always arrange with you, and then you have these guys come and share their testimonies. They're in Kenya, they're in Sudan, they're in Zambia, they're in Rwanda. You know, they are leaving their country because of persecution, because politicians feel that the only way to become relevant is to attack a homosexual. And as I've been explaining, the point is that we are not homophobic as a country, as a people, but the politicians are using the card, the homosexuality card, to win votes. Because as you know, in Uganda, just like in much of Africa, the majority are religious. And of course, I know that even in the USA, where you are right now, you have a big percentage of religious people. One of the most unique things about the US is that you're also highly religious. But Africa is worse. Because in Africa, people use their religion to even make laws. You know, someone's religious background dictates a law that is going to affect me who doesn't believe in a God. And I've been always wondering why people mix God, mix religion with politics, with governance. And the moment you mix that, the line is blurred. And then there's a problem because we're going to have a theocracy in a setting. And this is how it is in much of Africa. You remember in Nigeria, our comrade Mbala Bala was in prison for almost 4 years, simply for questioning Islam, simply for saying, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in Allah. And the guy was imprisoned for insulting Muhammad, for insulting Islam. You know, this is the kind of situation people live in much of Africa. People live in fear. And I should tell you, there are many secular people in Africa today, but cannot speak up, have no audacity to speak up because they fear for their lives. They fear to lose jobs. They fear to lose friends. How are you going to come out and speak that I don't believe in this kind of nonsense? Because somehow you're working with them, they have jobs, they have opportunities. So the moment you say that, you get isolated. So we are building society, we are building communities of non-believers in Africa, and I should tell you that the movement is growing. And I told you, I'm the chairperson of the oldest humanist organization in Africa, founded in 1996. It's called Uganda Humanist Association. I'm the chairperson, the kind chairperson right now. And this UHASO, the Uganda Humanist Association, has inspired so many humanist NGOs in Africa. As I speak now, we have NGOs, call them humanist associations in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Ghana, Nigeria, Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa. You know, we have lots of humanist, atheist NGOs mushrooming almost everywhere, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. So the movement is on. The journey is on. It is tough, but they are on.
Man, you're doing so much. And I think I posted the link. I think Mandisa and she appended the thing. So she's on here now because I asked her if she had any questions for you as well.
Thank you so much, Kato, for being a guest on this stream. You said you're in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Have you connected with the Association of Black Humanists in London? They used to be the London Black Atheists. Are you familiar and connected with them at all?
Yes. I think the leader is called Crowd. Oh, I may get the spelling wrong, but I know them. I know them.
Okay.
I've been in touch with them, though I should say for the last 1 year I haven't been so much in touch. But I know the team, and I know the leadership there. They are doing great work. They have hosted me. In fact, they have hosted me about a few months ago, I think, online.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm in touch. I know them. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Because the one thing that, like you said, there is, and one thing that we've noticed here in the US is that atheism, humanism, and secularism is growing across the African diaspora. And what's important is that we are connected as much as possible. So we will definitely be, we definitely like to keep each other updated and see how we can support and network with each other more in the future, because it's very, very important, because like you said, we're growing, we're here for those who feel like they're alone, that we aren't, and also that there are some organizations and people who are doing some significant work on the ground. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and thank you for doing this. I'm really happy that you are doing this in the mighty USA. Why? Because USA is notoriously religious too.
Yes.
So I'm happy to see you guys there.
Yes. I mean, we have to stick together.
Yeah.
And our history, we were brought over from Africa through force. So we are connected. So I feel that's the reason why we need to stick together, work together to get the message out. Like I said before, sadly, is that they're trying to bring some of those traditions that's going on in African countries here.
Yeah.
They're trying to control, belittling women, belittling those that are not normal in a sense of them, and have I'm going to say cis white men. They want to control everything.
Yeah.
And they don't know. It's my body, my choice, who I want to be with or I don't want to be with. They want to take away our voting power as women. It's really sad.
It's sad.
It's sad. So now that you're in the UK, is there a safety being there, or do you some kind of persecution there as well?
I should say I'm very safe here. Honestly, I should say I'm very safe here. I have not seen any persecution to me. I have to be honest with you guys. I should say that when I was in Uganda, I was a lawyer. By profession, I'm a lawyer. And I was working in a law firm led by my senior brother. But we had challenges because we were taking on cases against the corrupt regime in Uganda. So our law firm was attacked. Basically, my brother had to go into exile, my senior brother, my elder brother, and I also had to go into exile. The government was not happy with our kind of work, the way we were making it impossible for them to grab land from the poor and then give it to army generals and all that stuff. So I left my country on that note, working in a law firm that was being witch-handed and all that stuff. But here, I should tell you, I'm safe. And I'm still coordinating with my team in Uganda. We are on the ground in Uganda, and work goes on. At least in our activism, we are doing whatever we can possible to continue spreading the word, to continue promoting human rights, because in Uganda, sometimes human rights are not respected really, especially for the minorities. So we are continuing to do that every day when we have an opportunity to do so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna bring Mandisa on real quick again. See if she has anything else to say, because I know that she has a hard stop in a few minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I would just love for us to have you on our YouTube show as well in the cut. I really appreciate Kelly bringing you on. So, would you be interested and would you be available for us at Black Non-Believers to have you on our channel as well?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, my dear. I'm always happy to join in whenever I have the time. Just let me know in advance. I'll always be there.
Okay, perfect. That's all I had, Kelly.
It's a date. And I will be there as well, because I do help in the
Yeah, I want
stuff
us
on
to
that
know
channel
each
as
other.
well.
I want us to know each other. If you want me, once you tell me in advance, I'm always there. I'll always be there.
Awesome.
We're friends on Facebook, so you can friend request him. I guess that will work.
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be very
I'll,
fun.
I think I might be. I'll double check to see if we're not already connected on Facebook for sure.
Okay, that will be working.
All right.
Okay. Like I said, I thank Dean from the Atheist Republic of South Africa for introducing us. So that was a great thing that he did that. I'm gonna end the show pretty soon. I do have to go. We have our Friendsgiving, because it's Thursday was our Thanksgiving. Who's Happy Indigenous Day, I would say.
Okay.
And so we're having a Friendsgiving later on, so I have to put my makeup and stuff on for that.
Fine. I'm happy.
We are hanging out and stuff. We are hanging out and stuff like that for my Black Non-Believers group that I moderate and where I affiliate. Moderate. What's wrong with me? My tongue is tied. Uh, are we gonna post any links with the Black Non-Believers events going on and stuff like that, and talk about that?
I know that in Chicago, that please everyone visit the website. I posted I posted our website that folks can look up where the meetups are as well as donate. And I know that you're doing your Friendsgiving, and also in Chicago, Cynthia and the folks are doing a Friendsgiving there as well. I think that's tomorrow. Please stay tuned for like end of year events. Giving Tuesday is coming up. So we'll be posting a video on our channel about Giving Tuesday and getting in your end of year donations to Black Non-Believers, as well as Halia and other organizations that you can support. So I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get all of the links in, but yeah, please go to everything Black Non-Believers so that you can find all of the information that you need to attend events wherever we are having them, and even when we are going live on YouTube and having virtual events. So thank you all once again for tuning into this episode of Secular Activism Unfiltered with Kelly and her special guest, Kato.
Thank you so much, Mandisa. Thank you so much for hosting me, King. I'm really grateful that today I was able to make it here. King made it possible, Mandisa and everyone. My team has been watching. You posted the link live on my Facebook page. Thank you, everyone who was watching. Please continue supporting this group. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Please join in and always be able to watch and learn together with us. We learn from you as we learn from each other. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm grateful, and I will be there when you need me.
I appreciate you so much for coming on. I appreciate your message. I appreciate, because I feel that when the community the people in my chat, the people that I work with, they're my family.
Yeah.
So when I see you, my brother, helping our global family, and it means so much to me, and I'm so happy that you are doing what you're doing and you are making such a difference in this world. And I wish we could clone a few of you because we need more. It's just amazing. You're a father, you're a humanist, you're a lawyer. You just, man, you're just amazing. I thank you for coming on. Thank Mandisa for being my ride or die host moderator. Hope,
Absolutely.
hopefully you'll be on in the cut in the future so we can chop it up again there. Until then, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like, subscribe to Black Non-Believers in the Cut channel. Like, subscribe to my channel, Detroit Atheist Queen 247. Until next time. Oh, next week, Dean will be my guest.
Oh,
So
thank you so
that'll
much.
be my
Thank you so
guest.
much.
That will be my guest for on the 6th, that's Saturday,
Mm.
noon. He will be my guest. No, I can't do that because I gotta change it. Because you
We'll be on at 1, so that's fine. We can do both.
oh, okay. I might push him up a little bit earlier, 30 minutes or so. Until then, have a great
Thank you
one,
so much
Bye.
for having
everyone.
me. Mandis
Oh,
and
thank you
Q.
for coming on.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.